I want to share the story of how I bought one of my houses for $0 out of pocket. I basically got a free house. In fact, I was able to take money out of this property without having any of my money into the property. Let me explain. But before I do, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Back in 2017, me and my wife purchased our first property together, and we only put 5% down. So we did a 5% conventional loan. The property was $490. Let's round it up to $500,000 to make numbers easy. Down payment was 5%. That's $25,000. The sellers actually paid our closing costs. And what we did is, at the time, my wife and I were engaged. We were going to get married, which we did later that year. And we didn't have kids yet, and we weren't pregnant, and the property had 4 bedrooms. And here was my philosophy. How do we buy a property without us having to put any of our money towards the mortgage payment, right? How do we buy a property and have the mortgage be paid by other people? And that's exactly what we did. So there is something called an ADU in California. It stands for accessory dwelling unit, and this exists in all other states, but they just call it something else. And one of the ways that you can do an ADU is by splitting an existing home into 2 units. All you do is you add a new kitchen to that unit or to that side that you sectioned off, add a new entrance so those people can come in, and basically they are sharing a wall. So imagine here's a wall, right? And if somehow we section that side of the property from this side of the property, we're sharing a wall, but it's still like 2 units. It's like a side-by-side duplex sharing one structure. You ever seen a property that has like 2 doors, but it's like one house? That's exactly what it is. And what we did is, because it had 4 bedrooms, we only needed 1 room. So we took the entire main living room, the kitchen, the master. We had the front yard, the backyard, the driveway, the master bathroom, and the other 3 rooms. Here's what we did. In the middle room, that's where we actually created a door opening, and that became the little kitchenette. We added a kitchen. It also had its own bedroom and a hallway, and on the other 2 rooms, we set up 4 queen beds, right? 2 queens in the first room, 2 additional queens in the other room, and we started listing it on Airbnb, hosting up to 8 people. Now, at the time, the mortgage for this property, when you look at the principal, the interest, the taxes, and insurance, was only $3,200. And on average, for the 3 years that we did that structure, we never had to make a payment out of pocket, except for the first month while we got the property and while we were doing the conversion. After that, we never ever made a mortgage payment, and it actually kept over $100,000 in our pockets worth of mortgage payments that we normally would have had to make. And then about 2.5 years later, we did a refinance cash out, and we pulled out a little over $100,000 tax-free. Why is it tax-free? Because you should hit that like button. And then I'll tell you. Not really, guys, but when you hit the like button, it shows this video. YouTube will show this video to more people, and it helps us help more people. So thank you for helping us help more people. Hit that like button. So what happened is, whenever you borrow money from the bank, just like a refinance cash out, you are basically restructuring the loan. Some people do a rate-only refi, which is where they extend the term or shorten the term. And some people do a rate, term where they extend it or shorten it. And in addition to that, pull out money from the property. And that money you pull out gets added to the total balance of the mortgage. So the interesting thing is, yes, after we pulled out, say, $100,000 tax-free, our mortgage balance went up by $100,000, but because our interest rate went down by almost 2%, we went from about a 5% interest rate to about a 3% interest rate, and we went from owing about 27 years or 26 or 20, about 27 years left in a mortgage. We re-extended that to 30. So in short, our mortgage payment stayed exactly the same, but now we took out $100,000. So let's break down the numbers, right? We put $25,000 as a down payment, and then we invested about another $15,000 to launch the Airbnb. So we were all in about $40,000, but then we took out $100,000. So now you subtract the 40 that we put in, the 100 that we took out, and we are positive $60,000 in our pocket. That means we own that property with no money out of pocket. We actually took out and put $60,000 in our pocket, and we were living mortgage payment free. And that's how we went on to own this property with $0. Now, I know a lot of the haters are going to be like, well, Jorge, technically you don't own it for free because you got to pay property taxes. You still got a mortgage payment. I get it. All my Dave Ramsey followers, I love you guys. But here's the thing, guys. If you keep listening to Dave Ramsey, you're probably going to stay broke. What you need to do is stop listening to Dave Ramsey and start listening to Jorge Contreras. I like to follow the rich dad philosophy of not all debt is bad. Yes, there's a lot of debt that is bad, right? Like if you go and buy a Lamborghini or a new vehicle that's just a liability, yes, I get it. That is bad debt. But if I buy a Lamborghini and my monthly payment is $3,000 a month, but I rent it with a luxury company and it makes me $10,000 a month, $7,000 a profit, maybe $4,000 after I do a profit share with them managing it, it's no longer a liability. It is now an asset. And that's the difference, is that the poor mindset people think everything is a liability, everything is bad debt. Where rich people, we know that you could turn a liability into an asset. Just like buying a home is also a liability if it's not making you any money. But what if it does make you money? What if that property we were living in without having to put out any money out of pocket not only paid the entire mortgage payment, what if it made an extra $500 a month? And so you have to understand the difference between good debt and bad debt, right? Good debt puts money into your pocket. Bad debt takes money out of your pocket. Good debt is when you buy things that go up in value over time. Bad debt are things that you buy that go down in value over time. So again, not all things are created equal. That being said, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe, turn on the notification, and let me know your thoughts about this video. And you can be brutally honest, okay? We don't have to agree to be friends. That's okay. We can agree to disagree or disagree to agree, right? Leave your comments down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.